It's 2 a.m. Outside an isolated village, the branches of an ancient peepal tree sway wildly in the dark, as if trying to speak. This is where Arjun's desperate search ends, after a night looking for his missing sister, Riya. He reaches the edge of the farmlands and finds her body. The entire village knows exactly who killed her. His name is Vikram. But knowing the killer and punishing him are entirely different things. Vikram holds immense wealth, and he uses that money, along with the threat of severe physical violence, to buy absolute silence from the local population. This animated network map illustrates Vikram's systemic chokehold. A central node representing wealth projects solid barriers of fear, isolating the victim's family from the community. When police demand hard proof, the final legal connections snap completely, leaving Arjun trapped in a total void. That absolute isolation begins to tear at Arjun's mind. During sleepless nights, grief spirals into something much darker. Every time he closes his eyes, he hears his sister begging for justice. Look at the reality he faces. The killer walks free. His neighbors refuse eye contact. The legal system demands impossible evidence. Arjun is paralyzed, watching the world move on from his sister's murder. When every earthly legal framework fails simultaneously, society enters a vacuum of justice. It's an unbearable state of imbalance. Human psychology refuses to accept this void, and so the mind creates an alternative, unstoppable mechanism to drag the scales back to center. Arjun's grief finally manifests into something physical. Late at night, a freezing wind fills his room. His wooden door slowly creaks open, revealing an empty, pitch-black doorway. And there stands Riya's spirit. Her eyes have turned entirely black. She whispers a simple promise. "Do not fear. I am with you." This is a supernatural pact. She has returned to claim retribution, to enforce a debt that Vikram's money can no longer cover. This scatterplot maps defensive capability against incoming threat levels, illustrating an asymmetric power shift. The data point representing earthly wealth immediately drops to 0 as the ethereal threat level spikes. Vikram's money and thugs offers 0 protection against a ghost. We see an escalating cycle of paranoia take hold. In the dead of night, Vikram hears footsteps in his empty bedroom. He catches glimpses of a dead girl in his mirrors, turning around to find nobody there. Arjun leverages this decaying sanity. He challenges Vikram to meet him at an abandoned, isolated go-down. Vikram, still clinging to his earthly arrogance, shows up expecting a mundane confrontation. The go-down goes black. In the silence, a voice echoes, "I am here." When Vikram turns, he finds Riya's silhouette suspended in the air, his wealth and power suddenly irrelevant in the face of the impossible. Instantly, the heavy warehouse doors slam shut. Vikram tries to run, but an unseen force violently paralyzes him. Arjun steps out of the shadows. He reminds Vikram that he stole Riya's voice, and now he will steal his breath. Arjun chokes the life out of his sister's killer. The moment Vikram dies, the chaotic energy vanishes. An eerie calm settles over the go-down. Riya's spirit looks at her brother, finally showing a peaceful expression, and fades into the air. This brutal balancing of the scales fulfills a deep psychological fantasy for the oppressed. It is the invention of an unbribable, untouchable enforcer, a force that simply bypasses corrupt police and bought judges to deliver raw, unfiltered punishment. The next morning brings harsh sunlight and cold facts. Police find Vikram's corpse in the abandoned go-down. Arjun is completely gone. Some claim he fled. Others rumor he was quietly arrested. But the truth of Arjun's whereabouts no longer matters. This is the moment of apotheosis, the exact point where a localized murder report elevates into a permanent supernatural legend. The village elders take control of the narrative. They tell stories of the old peepal tree at the edge of town, warning travelers that on quiet nights, 2 shadows can still be seen walking together beneath its branches, a brother and a sister. And auditory folklore takes root. Anyone who walks past that tree after dark will inevitably hear a chilling whisper drifting through the leaves. Justice never dies. This timeline tracks the life cycle of a ghost story. It starts as a discrete red dot, a real-world crime, but it quickly expands into an infinite radiating wave. It becomes a cultural warning system. Long after the villagers forget Vikram and Arjun, the ghost story remains, acting as a permanent psychological deterrent against corruption. These stories of haunted revenge serve a practical purpose. They ensure that even when a village's legal systems break down, the cost of corruption remains visible, a reminder that when earthly institutions fail, the demand for justice becomes a ghost that never sleeps.